How are you?
Good, good. Hi, Dr. Deep.
Hi,
So
sir.
we'll be starting.
Good afternoon.
We'll be starting now.
Okay, no problem. Perfect.
Maksud, please start.
I can start? Or is...
Sir, no, sir. There will be some introduction.
Okay, sure. Sure, Dr. Deep.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, audible.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah,
Much
good afternoon.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to our today's respected speaker, Mr. Sanjay sir, and our HOD Professor Ramananda sir. And good afternoon to all faculty members and my fellow batchmates who have joined. Today, we have been brought together via this digital medium to contribute our knowledge and time for such an important webinar on a sensitive topic, pre-COVID and post-COVID scenario of work and work-life balance. Now, I would like to kindly request Dr. Dipjyoti sir to inaugurate the session and kindly introduce our eminent speaker who have graced our session with his presence.
Okay, thank you, Maksud. Good afternoon, Mr. Negi, all respected persons here, HOD sir, all other participants. At the very beginning, I would like to thank Mr. Negi, who, in spite of his busy schedule, gave us an opportunity to interact with him. We're facing a very tough time in this pandemic situation. However, we get value addition and inputs from him. That is why the topic that has been chosen is pre and post-COVID scenario in work and work-life balance. Nowadays, like starting from teaching in preschool to university level and working of IT companies and others, we find that all are working from home mostly. And also this has been the advice. Thus, being in home, it becomes very important to understand the work and life together. So here I again give thanks and welcome Mr. Negi, who has a very vast 22 years of experience with Oracle and HCL Technologies. He is currently with HCL as director. Mr. Negi has been working in the technology domain of banking and financial services for global customers. I am confident that we shall have a great session ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind introduction. Now, I would like to request our HOD, Professor Ramananda sir, to address the session.
Good morning, friends. This interaction session has been organized especially for our MBA third semester students. And at the very beginning, let me take the privilege of welcoming Mr. Sanjay Negi, Delivery Director of Financial Services, HCL Technologies Ltd. We heartily welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
And my dear young friends of MBA, for the last almost 6 months, we have been observing and facing an abnormal situation due to corona pandemic, and we have been asked to stay home and remain safe. We also have witnessed the closing down of offices, shutting down of factories, migration of laborers, and the extent to which the economy of the entire world is being affected. And to revive the economy, still some companies are functioning by operating from home by the managers who are in the helm of affair of the company. If I have to share with you as a teacher about the prevailing work environment, I will be referring to what has been said and written by the practicing managers like Mr. Negi. Today, we are quite fortunate that fortunate to have Mr. Sanjay Negi amidst us. He will be sharing with us what really he has experienced in today's work environment and how the quality of work life has been affected. Based on his experience of working for 22 years in India and abroad, he will be sharing with us his experience of pre-COVID, post-COVID scenario of work and work-life balance. I do have a belief that there will be a fruitful interaction, and at the end of the day, our students will be benefited. As a matter of fact, knowledge about how practice managers are operating in today's environment will be enriched. And Mr. Negi, the audience is all yours now. Begin the session.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the kind introduction. So guys, very good afternoon to all of you. And it's my great kind of privilege to be amongst you. And in fact, I am talking to the student community after a very, very kind of long time. It was 1.5 years, 2 years back when I spoke to MBA graduates in one of the, so I think it's my great privilege. And I think we all know that you all are, I think the right aim for this specific kind of topic should be work-life balance is for the people like me, people like Dr. Dey, people like Dr. Singh, who are working and managing life. For you, student, it has to be more of study life balance, because you are studying, you have your own life and all those stuff is there. So I think you all know that we are into a kind of abnormal situation, which is kind of coronavirus or COVID kind of 19 situation has come up to us. So I believe that, this has created a lot of issues and challenges to all of us. We never expected that we will be working from home. We never expected we'll be studying online through video classes, through online classes. We never expected that we'll be at our home, at our hostel room, at our houses for weeks and months. We never expected that we will not be able to meet our kind of friends, meet our relatives, meet our colleagues, meet our daughters, sons, sisters, brothers, father, mothers for a very, very kind of long time because of COVID kind of, lockdown. So this is a unprecedented time for all over India, especially all over the world. And I think with a global community like us currently, where you all are interconnected to everyone across the world because of internet, because of broadband, everybody's interconnected. You can speak to anybody else in the world on the video call, on the kind of the WhatsApp and all those. But while you and me, this is very kind of a peculiar situations whereby till end of March or till mid of March, we will all hunky-dory, going to the classes, enjoying our life with a coffee, with a tea, with the friends, myself having a coffee with a kind of lunch, sitting across to kind of colleagues, all that. So all that has completely, completely gone for a change since the last 3 or 4 months. And I'm sure, looking into the current situation, this will go into for another 5 to 6 months. So we are there to stay as a in a kind of distance mode, in a remote mode, studying and work-life balance. So I think I would not go into too much of giving you gyan, too much giving you what is work-life. I think all of you are pretty smart young students. So for you as a student, I think that we have around 35-40 students in the class. For you as a student, do you see any significant change in your study pattern? Collaborations in your study pattern, in your kind of concentration?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I must take an example that during our presentation time, before COVID, when we were giving presentation in our class, we always prepare our presentation, like we always prepare our PPT and how to present in front of everyone, and that should be must be physical, and how to eye contact with everyone and how to make understand everyone. But after COVID, we just make our PPT, and yes, we actually present our PPT, but in that situation we are not able to present it physically, and even we are not able to make any eye contact. So we are not in a situation that who is able to understand my words or who is not. So this is the much difference we notice that, sir.
Absolutely, very good point you raise, Anamika, and that's a good point that physical presence or physical belongingness is missing, in a sense that, and you are absolutely right here, you are bang on, that when you give certain presentation, I also give a lot of presentation. It's not that I'm away from presentation, I also give presentation. So whenever you guys or me give presentation to my seniors, to my colleagues, we don't know how he or she is actually reacting. So it's I think that's a good point you raise, that a kind of body language is actually missing. We don't know what he or she is thinking about what I'm saying, how she's being reacting on what I'm saying. Because when you speak to someone face to face, when you give presentation face to face, you can immediately understand whether what you are saying is actually working out or is not working out. Or so that's a good observation. That's one thought which Anamika raised, and this is how we need to make session more collaborative, more interactive. That's what, because you are pretty mature people. I think one point you raised is good, that the body language is missing. When we speak to someone, when we talk to someone, it becomes more of a kind of monologue, and you don't know how other person is feeling or reacting. Because once you're sitting with somebody physically next to each other, you can actually easily kind of make it out that what he or she is thinking on that. So that's a good point. Any other observation? What do you see the difference between pre-COVID study and post-COVID study?
Hello,
Yeah,
sir.
please.
I want to say something positive, which at least according to me, sir, because after the COVID situation, sir, I'm getting too much time for my skill development or getting time for my hobbies, etc., which was not possible post COVID because the traveling times were also something the time were wasted according to me. So that's a positive thing which I'm noticing, sir, and I'm enjoying it, sir. To be honest, sir.
That's a good point. Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is what interaction makes the discussion be interesting. So Joydeep said that he spends more time with himself. What he actually meant. Anamika had a very good observation that we don't know when communication become one way, which is another good observation. Joydeep said, and as you all have heard him, that what he meant is by that he gets more time, which means that he is able to get more time for himself, which is a good observation that if you are sitting at home whole day, attending classes for a couple of hours for more, and then you are again at home. So you can spend your time on hobbies. You have your own interests and passions other than what you are doing for your work and study. So all of us has those interests and passions, and we should always have some interests and passions. So Jaideep says that one of the positive aspect of COVID is that he's all out at his home, at his hostel room, wherever he is. He doesn't have to go to the college by bus, by train, by bike. He doesn't have to spend too much time in traveling and too much other time, which he spent. He's at home from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, whole day, 24 hours in a day. So that way he's able to spend time to develop or to enrich his hobby. So that's a good observation, I think. Anyone else?
Yes, sir. Sir, am I audible?
Lolita, yeah, you are audible,
Yeah.
Lolita.
Sir,
Very clear.
yeah. So one positive impact which I had in my life is that during this COVID situation, I became self-dependent. How before COVID, I was like dependent on everyone. But after the COVID situation arrived, like I became self-dependent. I knew what were my limitations. I worked on it. These were the things which had during this COVID situation. And I'm very much like, now I can talk with others. I have developed much skills during this COVID. That's the positive impact of COVID in my life.
Yeah, Olita, I think that's a very pertinent point. So, guys, another point which she raised is that self-dependent, she became more self-dependent. In a sense, what she meant was, just to make you easy to understand, what she wanted to say is that, see, when you live with limitations of going out, when you live with limitations of not meeting your friends, when you live with limitations of not speaking to your, guide and professor and the lecturers more often, when you are limited by not speaking to your friends more often physically. So all these kind of limitations helps you in another way also. See, once you are having a lot of limitations, you try to become more innovative. You try to find out ways and means to overcome those limitations. And which is what I think Olita was referring to, that by being at a lockdown situation, by being in a COVID situation, living at home, studying at home, so she's become more productive. She become more self-dependent, not because that COVID made her independent, but because of the limitations and the kind of constraints she went into, or all of us went through. Not she. She's giving her example, but I am also part of that. So as all of you. So basically, you become more productive. You were able to find out ways and means to overcome limitations, which means you can live with less. There is a English saying which we all call it that what we call. Less is more. So that is what she's talking about. If you have less things to handle on, you become more self-dependent. And I think this is what, and that's what we are all about. Any one of you? So this is one other observation
Yes,
she
sir.
talks about. She became, yes, please.
Sir,
We have Deepika Maksud.
Yes, sir.
Any one of you?
Sir, before.
Yeah, Deepika, you start first. Then Jimpy, then Maksud. Yeah, Deepika.
So before COVID, we have got the classes how to present ourselves in the interview, how to speak, how we represent ourselves. But right now in the COVID situations, we have to present ourselves how we can present ourselves in the video conference or video Skype interviews. So that's the difference.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, Deepika, I think I will add on this point. Yeah. Jimpy, you want to say something, please? Jimpy wanted to say.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Jimpy.
One positive impact of COVID-19 is that. So what I have learned in this situation is we always give private, we give most prioritize to our career. So, but the main thing is it's health, right? So what should we do with such a big house when our mental is, our health is bad? So one thing I have learned is that we should take care of ours. We should not eat a lot of junk food. We should do some sort of exercises, stay happy, do our what we would love to do.
Yeah. Yes. So Jimpy has a different kind of personality. She's enjoying COVID. She has a huge house. That's good. Yeah, this is what. And she's maintaining her health. She's enjoying her life, which is another. This is another kind of This is called people have a different kind of takes in life. So she has this kind
Yes,
of
sir.
life. Yeah, absolutely. And so has Anamika had a different in life. Olita has a different take in life. Joydeep has a different take in life. Deepika has a different take in life. I think that is what
Hello.
all about. And yeah, Maksud, you were saying? Maksud?
Yeah, sir.
Maksud.
Yes, sir. There is a positive approach, sir. During the March period, people were also, were in the lockdown and they were fearing that how they will spend their whole of their time. And as the months proceeded, people were much more into the innovative ideas. Some came up with the startup ideas, and there is a saying, all the startup ideas comes in the recession time. So many startup ideas came, and I was learning through this, and from there I came to know, and I developed myself in the part of the networking. I grew my network, which was very much limited. I attended many webinars, I hosted many webinars, I moderated many webinars, and from them I came to many resource persons, speakers, and my network reach grew. Earlier I used to know few people, and ultimately after that my network started growing, sir. And though COVID brought a data constraint in it, we had a data constraints, but we have overcome this slowly.
Yeah. I think, yeah, so Mukso, that's a good observation. So I think, guys, this is what it is all about. See, we will speak more often, but I think that is what the crux of the matter is. That, there is a study done by also McKinsey and a group. They had done a study. You can also go to Googling and see that what study, and that's a good report. I will send you the link. I will send link to Dr. Deep Jyoti on that. There is a study done by McKinsey, and I was reading that the report a couple of days back. So the McKinsey also did that study in terms of what kind of the attitude changes post-COVID situation has actually brought in the work-life balance, and what are the changes which is brought in the overall kind of personality of the people working from home continuously. Like for example, I am working in an IT industry. Now with an IT industry, we used to have a lot of kind of travel. We used to meet our customers, we used to meet our clients, we used to meet our team members, we used to meet our kind of bosses, we used to meet our different stakeholders. And there used to be a lot of we used to have a lot of travel across cities, across the world to meet our customer, to give presentation and all that, which actually brought in a lot of kind of familiarity, lot of kind of physical, once you are there in person meeting, then those relationship actually, those kind of relationship built on, and we thought that is going to be the norm. But after the COVID situation came in picture, so those were the norms. We used to have a lot of travel, meeting customer, having those sessions. So that was a different ball game. And as being in an industry, see, I will tell you, because let me give a different perspective, because I heard you, and I will also speak to a few more before we close off this session. But from my perspective, I'm in a company where I'm in a role and responsibility where I'm into the business growth, I am into delivery, I'm into client satisfaction, customer satisfaction. looking into P&L. Those who are a student of finance, they understand what is the meaning of P&L, profit margins and all those. So in a pre-COVID time, we used to have a lot of travels all across the world to see we get more business, we also deliver more, we deliver quality, we maintain margins, we maintain profitability and all those things. After the post-COVID time, when it happened in the month of March, and today we are in the month of August, and August is ending, you will be very, very surprised to know, and I can tell you because from my own experience, productivity of my team member has increased. You will not believe it, guys. SLAs, which we call the service level agreement, KPIs, key performance indicators of team members, service level agreements of the customers, which we used to hover at around 85-90%. We are now currently at 99 to 100%. The productivity has gone up, tremendously. Massive productivity has gone up. People's motivation has gone up initial 3-4 months. I will also come back to that second point. Third point was in terms of business growth. If you ask me, there is a lot of kind of saying going on in the market, in the newspaper, that economy is going down. That's why I understand there are economic issues and challenges. But at the IT, I'm giving my own perspective, technology perspective, our business has actually gone up reasonably substantially by close to 7-8% business. We have grown over the last 2 to 3 months because now what's happening. So this is a new norm. On the other side, from the people perspective, if I'm talking about the from the business point of view, we have actually grew the business. Similarly, from the profit margin perspective, we have increased the business because there is no kind of travel costs. So that is third thing. Fourth thing is that people's motivation part. People's motivation part is now, I will tell you honestly, from my team, because I'm currently managing close to 600 people and within my organization HCL, we did that survey of people. Are you willing to come to office? Are you okay to work from home? How long you want to work from home? And you will be surprised to know that close to 85 or 86% of respondents, guess what they would have said.